Do Not Feed the Monkeys is a very unique game that is hard to put into a genre, but for lack of better words, I would say it's a story-driven simulation game. During the course of the game, you pick up an expensive hobby of watching cameras from around the game world. In order to pursue this hobby, you must make money and keep good care of yourself while doing exactly the opposite of the title of the game. The game was made by Fictorama Studios and Badland Publishing, both having some good titles to call their own, such as Deponia and Dead Sea City. The game was published by Alawar Premium. Do Not Feed the Monkeys was published on Steam in October of 2018 and has very positive reviews and sports an 82 on Metacritic. My total playtime added up to 3.7 hours. Achievements are available, Steam cards are available. There is no DLC to the game. Steam Workshop mods do not exist. There is no multiplayer, co-op is not available. Character creation is not an option. There is no controller support. And the most important question, can you see your legs? No, but you can see other people's legs. So that's like half a win, you know? First category, graphics and performance. The game is a sort of first-person experience. You spend most of your time peering at two parts of your room. The game sports pixely 2D graphics, which felt unique yet familiar at the same time. You don't get a change in environment so often, but your cameras will depict a different location for you to look at. Your room and computer are easy to look at, and the environments you look at are very believable. The little details of the walls and the shading of various objects really puts everything together. The people are simple and easy to look at, the effects are nice, and the cameras you peer through have a stutter to them that just gives them that little extra immersion. As par, usually with 2D pixel graphics, the game is pretty easy to run and should run smoothly on most rigs. I got 400 plus frames during my playthrough. If you are worried though, just check the minimums on the Steam page. All in all, graphics and performance gets a score of 7. Category 2, gameplay and story. You play from the first-person perspective of you on your computer, which is kind of immersive as you're obviously playing it from your computer. The goal of the game is to work your way up the social ladder of an organization by buying more cameras till you're at the top. During that journey, you will get the chance to interact with the cages by feeding the monkeys, which you're not technically supposed to do, but I would consider it the meat of the game. You can win by not feeding them though, if that is really the route you want to take. You also have personal needs to take care of, such as sleeping, eating, and a health bar. Mostly you try to make money to manage all these things as well as rent. You will quickly find feeding the monkeys, you can make that a little easier. You will have to watch certain cameras at certain times to get the right clues you need to interact with further with the cages, which repeat on a daily loop for the most part. Overall, the gameplay was quite solid. It was never too hard to manage my money and getting the cameras. It only took one playthrough to get the best ending, but I will say that there are some tight moments. The game has a good job of making you immerse in the world, which just adds to the experience. As for the story, the overarching story is kind of meh. You don't have much of one outside of you watch cages and work. Where the game shines is the mini-stories that you interact with through your cages, with lots of different ways to interact with them and different potential outcomes. They are all pretty simple, but some have some comedic value to them. Overall, they did a good job of the meat of the game. Gameplay and story scores a total of 8. Third category, music and sound. The sounds of the game are nice, from the scratching of the pencil and paper to the mouse clicks on your PC. They do a good job of immersing you in the game world. The knocking on the door and the ambient noise of the AC in the room really puts you in the scene, and I can appreciate that. Although the cameras offer nothing in the way of audio, so that is about all you will hear. The people talk in Animal Crossing fashion of gibberish that didn't really feel out of place in the world. Every once in a while you could hear things your neighbors were doing through the muffled walls and were more noticeable than you would think, and is actually the only music you will hear in the game as well, which makes it kind of hard to rate the music of the game, but it does give into the experience, and I wasn't really here for the music anyhow, and it does kind of lean towards the simulator sides of things. But when the music was heard, it was kind of generic tracks that I kind of tuned out. Overall, I gave music and sound a 7. Category 4, length, replayability, and price. The game took me almost 4 hours to complete on my first time around. They should be about the same for most as you play for a set period of days, unless you fail or maybe you get one of the less common bad endings. Now the game does offer some replayability. Whenever you start a new game, your cameras will be different and offer a different experience. I am sure you will even get different neighbors who visit. Now I had no desire to play the game through, as I am worried that RNG will give me some of the same cameras and ruining some of the discovery I had in the first playthrough, but the replayability is there. Maybe if there was a bit more challenge to it, I could take another swig. As for the price, you can find this game for $11.99 on Steam, or about $2 to $5 on G2A. If you can get 2 playthroughs out of this game, I could definitely see myself picking up this game at the full price. But if you can get it on sale, obviously pick it up then. If you are a fan of Papers, Please, you will get a kick out of this game. It is something different from your usual games out there and is a pleasant change of pace. In this category, I give it a score of 8. Recommendations. This game is very unique, so if you're looking for a title similar to this one, you might find some troubles finding an experience that is close to this one. The first game I could recommend is Paper Please, though it is an older game, so I'm sure you've probably played it or heard of it. But if you haven't, give it a shot. Game number 2, Orwell. This game has you going into other people's stuff and messing with the world from the back seat, and it has a very good story. No need to manage money, but still gives you that snooping vibe if that's what you're looking for. Game number 3. If you like the computer Inception, give Emily Is Away 2 a try. Lacks the resource management, but has a branching story with different endings as you interact with people online and browse the internet. Do Not Feed the Monkeys is a unique experience you won't find in another game. This is something I like to see in a game, as the market is usually swarmed with games that are too similar in nature for me. The game has solid enough gameplay for a few playthroughs with decent looks and immersive sound. The game explores an interesting area that I could see being adapted into other games as well. If you're looking for something new in the indie scene and find yourself always snooping in others' business, I would definitely give this game a shot. With the gameplay and story category double scaling, Do Not Feed the Monkeys gets a total score of 38 out of 50. That's all I got for you, so cheers and I will see you next time.